Hi, it's Raven Burns at Grown Folks Fitness. Wanted to do a quick video, motivational video about how to eat healthy on a budget, particularly how to get enough protein on a strict budget. I know that of which I speak. I'm definitely on a budget, but I'm dedicated to eating healthy and getting enough protein, so I wanted to do a little video with some tips about how to do that. I did a blog post over on Grown Folks Fitness about this, but I wanted to follow it up with a video. So enough protein. So there's a lot of sources that'll tell you that you don't really need that much protein or it's not that important. This is true from a survival standpoint. You don't need a lot of protein for survival. If you're simply eating enough calories, that is sufficient for survival purposes. And it's even enough to fuel your activities, even if you are active. However, if you're specifically trying to gain muscle, and particularly visible muscle, or if you're doing a lot of high intensity training, you may not be getting enough protein to actually see the results that you want to see. I can say for myself, I've tried many different eating styles. I've been vegan, vegetarian, I've gone keto, I've done Atkins, all of which to see what my body responds best to. My body actually responds best to a balanced diet, which is helpful because that's what I prefer anyway. But I did notice that when I upped my protein intake, not dramatically, but significantly enough, I started to see more visible changes in my body, more defined muscle and less fat. And I kept my exercise the same. So I do believe that the increase in protein was helpful for actually putting on muscle. So, but again, it can be challenging to get sufficient protein. Protein-rich foods can be expensive, but if you know how to shop, you can get what you need and not bust your budget. So, I wanted to start off with Trader Joe's. That's my go-to source for reasonably priced food. You can find a lot of healthy options there, and their prices are extremely reasonable and even cheap. So when I'm strict on my budget, I do have some go-tos. Protein powder. So protein powder is very helpful for me because I don't often get enough protein from the foods that I eat because I don't actually eat that much. I do intermittent fasting right now. My eating window is actually it's about 8, so I guess I'm 8-16 right now. So 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. And in that time, and I'm working for 8 of those, so I don't actually usually eat that much. So protein powders are really helpful for me for getting in enough protein, even though I'm not eating that much. But protein powders are often really high. So there is a brand at Trader Joe's that is pea protein. It doesn't have a lot of additives. It's vegan friendly if you're vegan. And it's really inexpensive. It's about $12 for 18 servings, which is amazing. I can make that last for a month generally because that's 2 scoops. 2 scoops is 20 grams of protein. You may need more or less than that. Probably not more. You might be able to get away with less than that, which would extend the servings out to if you did only 1 scoop at 10 grams of protein just to supplement, you could, obviously that's 36 servings. But 2 scoops is really good. The unsweetened is the cheapest. That's the one that's $12. They have a vanilla, they have a chocolate. Those I believe are about 13, 14, something like that, which is still cheap. But the unsweetened one, it is unsweetened, so but it does taste good with milk. So if you just shake it up with some milk, that's fantastic. Trader Joe's also has another brand that is called Designer Whey, and that one I believe has 11 servings, also has 20 grams of protein, and that one I believe is about $12. But you get fewer servings, so you would definitely need to buy 2 of those in the month, which is still not bad. That's $24 for your month's protein supplement. or it depends on how much you need, but for me, buying it twice is enough. Canned sardines are an excellent source of protein, and not only that, omega-3. So those at Trader Joe's are about $1.69 or so. If you get them in olive oil, which actually I prefer, it tastes better. Those, I believe, are $1.49. The one in water is a little healthier. That one is $1.69. And they have canned tuna in water, and you can get that anywhere. It's pretty cheap. Packed with protein, low in fat, and high in nutrition. Trader Joe's has brands of protein bars that are also really good. I like Builder's Protein. This is the one that I think tastes the best. This one also tastes really good. Power Crunch. They have it in vanilla and chocolate and other flavors. Both of those are 20 grams of protein a piece. So those are excellent snacks. They taste good, but they don't taste like candy. But they're sweet enough that they taste good. 80% lean ground beef at Trader Joe's is about $3.50, $3.60. If you are on a low carb, high fat diet, it's perfect because it's a higher fat brand. My diet, as I mentioned, is balanced, so I don't go super high fat, but I keep my fats moderate, so it's perfect for me as well. Even if you are choosing to go low fat, there's ways of preparing beef. You can prepare it on a grill that the fat seeps through, and then you're left with the meat. Or you can pair it with other things that are low in fat and still meet your fat goal for the day. Other protein sources that are cheap but high in protein: chicken thighs, drumsticks, and wings. All less expensive. Again, Trader Joe's has these anywhere from $3 to $5, and depending upon how much you eat, that can last you several days. The wings, there's only about 6 in there for that price, and that will maybe only last you a day, but still, $3 for a day of food is not bad. Milk is an excellent source of protein. You can get regular milk, which is about $1.70 for half gallon, $1.10 or so for a quarter. And if you are lactose intolerant, you can do lactose free. They have it for about $3 at Trader Joe's and other places. Canned beans, excellent source of protein and low in fat, high in nutrition. You can pair those with anything, with some salsa, anything you want, and they're filling, which is nice because they're high in fiber. So you can get your protein and also be full so that you won't overeat. Eggs, excellent source of protein, not expensive. You can choose to do the whites. I choose whole eggs most of the time. If you get the caged free especially. If you're getting the cheaper ones, the pastured eggs, they're pretty cheap. They're about $2. So you can do the whites or you can do the whole egg. When I go cheaper, I usually just do the whites. But if I'm getting the nice cage-free eggs, then I'll do the whole egg. It's your choice, but it's a high protein, relatively low cost food. Cottage cheese is amazing. I love it plain, actually. You can develop a taste for this. If you don't have a taste for it, you can add in fruit to make it a little sweeter. I train myself to like things without sugar, so I can eat plain yogurt, and it's yummy. I don't need fruit or sugar or stevia or any of these things. But if you do need that stuff, you can add that, and it's an excellent source of protein, low cost. Add a few nuts for a little bit more fat and a little bit more nutrition. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is controversial because of the way peanuts are processed, but I like it. It's an excellent source of protein. You can just have a scoop, and you can get your protein in, get your fats in, and it's very filling. So if you're struggling with hunger, you can even, a serving is 2 tablespoons, so you can do half of that, and you won't be busting your caloric budget. You'll be getting your protein in and keeping yourself satisfied so that you don't eat something more ridiculous like some ice cream or cake. I know what you're thinking. What else? Fish. Okay, so fish is expensive. Trader Joe's has a bag of tilapia. Tilapia is also controversial because of the possibility of contamination. But it's a great source of protein, and if you're on a budget, then you may need to do what you need to do. Wild caught salmon is best, but it's really expensive. I have found reasonably priced wild caught salmon at Vaughn's. They have a bag of it for about $8, and that fed me for a week. So $8 for a week of food is amazing. So that's protein. Those are my sources of low-cost protein. There's other foods that you need to supplement, of course. It's not all about protein. Frozen vegetables are perfectly acceptable. Of course, fresh is always better, but the problem with fresh is that it can be expensive, and also it can go bad. So if something happens and you have a meeting at work and you're planning on eating your vegetables and something else comes up, or you can't use everything that you bought and you want to save it, sometimes that's not an option. It goes bad, and then you feel like you've wasted your money, and then you feel discouraged. Like you don't want to keep buying stuff that you have to throw away. And not everyone can shop multiple times a week. It's best if you can shop every couple days, but if you can't do that, frozen is amazing. Frozen, it's frozen right after it's picked, so it retains most of its nutrients. So you're not compromising too much on your nutrition, and you can just use them when you have time. So that way you're always getting your vegetables. I mean, I have a serving of vegetables at least every day. Your frozen broccoli, your frozen asparagus, your frozen green beans. So you're getting your green leafies, but you're not letting anything go to waste. A bag of potatoes or sweet potatoes. So I like white potatoes. They don't cause me any problems. If you do either have problems with potatoes or they tend to put on weight on you too fast, you can use sweet potatoes. Both of them are relatively inexpensive. You can get a bag for $2 or $3. A bag of potatoes, you spend $3 on, and that'll last you for maybe 4 days. So $3 for 4 days worth of food is amazing. Beef stock, that is great, and bone broth is great for adding a little bit of protein and nutrition to your rice. So if you eat rice, brown rice or white, preferably brown, you can cook the rice. Instead of using water, you can use the broth, and it not only adds a little bit of nutrition, but it tastes better. So you're adding a little bit of flavor on top of it. And you can also add it to your vegetables. You can stir fry some fresh vegetables in broth instead of using oil or butter, and you get a little bit of flavor and you don't waste your fat. Water. So most people don't these days drink straight out of the tap, but if you're buying a lot of plastic water, it's going to eventually cost you a lot of money, especially if you're getting the amount of water that you really need. So I drink about 8 glasses of water a day, just water, not including water for coffee or water in food. So I was buying bottled water, but I found that it's more expensive than just getting a Brita filter. So I use a Brita filter, and those are replaced every couple months. You can use the knockoffs. You don't need to get Brita. Sorry, Brita. But you can get the fake Brita, and those are cheap. Each filter is about $5, so you can get 2 filters for like $9.99, and that'll last you 4 months instead of every couple days buying a bottle of water. So it's time convenient, and it's also cheaper. So those are my tips. So there is no excuse for not eating healthy, because you can get your protein in, you can get your nutrients in, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. If you have any questions, let me know. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day.